Thanks so much for joining me at Salon Freedom. Really appreciate your time. I know you're busy. You're exactly like me as a salon owner, trying to fit everything in. So the fact that you're here is fantastic. I really appreciate it. And I want to share with you today a few things that I put in place very quickly that allowed my business to scale up and genuinely allowed me to be a lot happier, more in control, and reduce my stress greatly. So, what I'm going to share with you in this video are my 3 big mistakes from when I first started my salon. The things that I didn't do that I really would have benefited from getting into them a little bit sooner. Okay. So the first one of those, and I'm sure many of you will relate to this, is I didn't spend enough time on my business. I was too focused on doing what I thought I needed to do to grow the business, and that meant that I was working with clients. Okay, clients were the most important thing, getting some money in. Well, of course, that is the case when you first get started. You do need to get some traction with your clients. But starting with the end in mind of where you want to go, and I take it that you want to build a business that's going to create a lifestyle for yourself and not just a job working 50, 60 hours a week, we have to think about where we're going to go. And that takes some time, some thinking, some implementing of new ideas and new strategies, communicating with your staff exactly where you're going, so you've got guys that are on your journey with you. But you can't do that when you're totally focused on your clients and totally focused in working all hours God sends. So the first mistake I made was I didn't spend enough time working on my business. I'd been a hairdresser, and I'd come from a family of hairdressers where the whole thing was about work ethic, work, be fully booked all the time, get on with your clients, do amazing haircuts, and that would be enough. Well, that's enough if you want to be an amazingly successful stylist, but if you want to create a business, we have to think and behave a little bit differently. Now, Richard Branson couldn't have built Virgin if he was flying planes full time. The same with you. You've now moved from being a stylist into a business person, and you need to think about where your time is best spent for the benefit of you, for the benefit of the business, but also for the benefit of your team and for your clients. Now, you carrying on doing what you're doing and expecting things to change and expecting all the important things to get done is simply foolish, because you need to behave and do things differently to get those different results. As I said, as we move from being a stylist into being a business owner, our jobs change and our responsibilities change, and we need to start thinking as a business person and thinking about where our time and effort are best spent. Now, the benefits of doing this are that you can start to take an aerial view of your business. Okay? You can communicate with your team exactly what's going on. And one of the biggest mistakes I made in the beginning was thinking that my team could read my mind. Well, it took me a while to realise I was slow on the uptake, that they couldn't read my mind. They didn't know what I was thinking. And so, if they didn't know what I was thinking, they couldn't do what I asked. And so I became very frustrated with that. But as soon as I started taking the time out with a team meeting per week, or even every 2 weeks, to explain what was going on, the communication and the behaviours of my team really started to change and align with my own. So we started getting some amazing performance from the team from that point on. In terms of planning for a business, you need to be looking ahead, planning your marketing, planning your price structures, planning your training, planning all of these things to allow you to roll with the punches and deal with the external effects of the business that are going. The third thing you need to do, which is very important, is to actually help your team help you grow. And that means you need to train them. So although the time spent out of the salon, the time spent training is lost income, in actual fact what you're doing is investing. So by taking the time to be outside of your business, working on your business, and not at the coalface, was the first big mistake that I made. And subsequently, when I rectified that mistake and started thinking like a business owner, and investing elsewhere and thinking where my time is best spent, my business started doing that. Now, I'm not saying that you need to stop hairdressing altogether, but you do need to start creating a bit of time for yourself. First thing to do would be to get a morning free a week. It'll feel fantastic. You'll have time to think. And all I can tell you is that from all the amazing business people that I've worked with, independent salon owners that turn over millions per year and have amazing lifestyles, they've all reduced their days off the floor. Most of them actually don't work on the floor anymore at all. And from my experience, as my input into the salon on a daily basis has gone down, in a mirror fashion, the business has done this. My stress levels have reduced, my clients are happier, we charge more, and most importantly, the team are really, really happy, fulfilled and driven, because you allow them to create an amazing future for themselves. So there you go. Have a think about it, see how you could work it into your business week, create a bit of space for yourself, and start thinking like a business person, and you'll start to get the results of a business person. So welcome to my second mistake when I started the business. Just as a quick aside, as you're taking time out of your day, I'm sure you're very, very busy. I'm doing exactly the same, so I'm in my salon at the moment, just breaking away to do a video for you and just share with you some of these little snippets that hopefully will make a big difference in your business as they have in mine. So I hope you have a great day and you have some amazing clients and you've got some great bills coming into the till, making it all worthwhile. So the second big mistake that I made for years on end was not keeping up with inflation. And essentially what that means for us is not implementing price increases on a yearly or 6 monthly basis. Now, the facts are that everything goes up. Our wage costs go up, our stock costs go up, that all brings our general profit percentage down, and things just get squeezed and squeezed and squeezed very, very easily. So if we're not making moves in the right direction to keep our pricing relevant and in balance to keep a healthy business going, all we're doing is essentially damaging our business while we're trying to serve our clients. Now, we can think about why we need to put price increases in, and if we look at the data, if we look at the facts and not our emotions of being fearful about talking to clients about price increases, okay, the data says that we must increase pricing, we must increase prices. Things always go up, and so the knock-on effect for our business is greater costs, and we must do that. We must do it to protect ourselves, we must do it to protect the business, we also must do it to protect the quality of work that we can offer to our clients, to our guests. If you're working like an elastic band pulled tight with no movement and working from a position of fear about money and fear about bills and are you going to survive, it's a terrible place to be working from and it kills your creativity. The other thing that we need to do is to make sure that the business is profitable, to ensure that we can provide great conditions for our team to work in. Now, as I said, if we look at the data and the facts, we know that that's got to happen. But why doesn't it happen? It doesn't happen because we're emotional people. We feel that we'll be judged. We feel that we might lose clients because of charging a little bit more than the salon down the road. But what it comes down to is a mindset position. It's a self-belief position that you are not worth putting your prices up by 5%. Now everybody else does it, inflationary price increases, 5-10% per year. Why don't you? Is it because you think you're going to be judged? Is it because you think that you're going to upset people? Is it because you think that some clients can't afford it? Well, look, we've got a marketplace, and it is a shame if some people can't afford certain things. But most of the time, It actually comes down to people choosing not to afford certain things. So the client that will argue about £2 on a haircut will be going to the Caribbean for a holiday. The client that will worry about a 5% price increase each year will be driving a new car. The client that will be complaining about price increases again, you're very expensive, you're more expensive than the person down the road, okay? They'll be treating themselves to a £500 handbag. Now what they do is totally up to them. All you can do is worry about yourself, how you think and how you operate your business. And the right thing to do is to put your prices up each year with inflation to ensure that you protect your dream, you protect your business and the people that you're responsible for, which are your family, your friends, actually the clients, but increasingly the team. Now, if you have the confidence and the mindset to do this every year without apologies and not feeling guilty or sorry about it, your team will start to feed from your self-belief and your confidence, and you'll start to create an environment in your business where the clients know what you're about because you value yourself. They can't respect you unless you respect yourself. Your team will start to believe it as well, and you'll see everybody's chest puff up with pride and self-belief and self-worth, and you'll start to create some momentum in your business that just increases quality and ensures profitability and the fact that you're going to survive, which is exactly what it's all about. We should be surviving in a really lovely, happy and profitable state so that everybody benefits. That's what you're in business for. That's what you should make sure that happens for yourself. And keeping in touch with your prices is one of the first ways and most simple ways that you can do that. Make sure that you implement your price increases, and a lot of your problems will be taken care of right at the beginning. Give yourself permission to do it and implement those price increases. Hi there, so at this point I'd like to just take a quick second to invite you to join our group over on Facebook. There'll be a link that you can just click on, that'll take you to the group. It's just a place for you and me to hang out, to kind of converse and get some ideas and just spend some time with virtually people of the same mindset, people that want the same kind of things, people that want to create a great business for themselves, a great life. Heartfelt people like you and I. So come on over, you'll like it, and it'd be good to see you there. So, moving on with our series. As hairdressers, it's very easy for us to feel overawed and feel that business is complicated. Well, in actual fact, business for anybody is actually quite simple. There are really three kind of main areas. There's the management of the business, there's getting money into the business, and then it's managing the money going out of the business, managing the costs. They're the three main areas. So it's how we do it, it's getting the money in, and it's managing the money going out. Now what we've looked at already is our management, how we manage our time, how we manage our business, and we spoke about working on the business and not so much in the business. Then we looked at pricing, and we looked at how we get money into the business. Okay, one strategy of getting money into the business, one stream, one avenue of focus of getting money into the business. The third one is the managing of the money at the back end, the money going out, how we spend our money, where it's going, the financial side of it. And that brings me to my third biggest mistake that I made when I first started my business, and that is neglecting the financial side of the business. Now we've all done it, and if you are managing the financial side of your business, very, very well done, because so many of us didn't, and I certainly didn't. But it's so easy to get into the hair, get into the salon, get into the front end, and think about just getting money into the business or being busy. But no matter how good your product is, no matter how good you are, no matter even how good your management of the front end is, getting money into the business, if you're not managing the back end and the money is hemorrhaging out of your business at the back end, the best business in the world will fail. And so for us as business people, one of the essential components is managing the finances. Now this is a great example of using facts and not drama or emotions to help us make our decisions. So here's some questions for you. How do you decide about your advertising? How do you decide where to advertise, what to say, how much to spend on your advertising? I'm not getting into advertising here, but it's just a question for you to ask yourself, how do you make those decisions? Do you just decide when somebody phones up and says they've got a free ad space, would you like it? Where's the fact-based decision making behind that? What about when the rep comes in and says, oh, I've got a great new product, it's amazing. Did you know that if you're making 10% net profit and you buy something for £500, you think it's only £500, but if you're making 10% net profit, that new investment needs to give you a return, an extra return of £6,000 to equate to that being paid for. Did you know that? I certainly didn't know that, but that is the fact of running a hairdressing business. The shiny bauble syndrome, the getting a new car. I get it on a lease, no problem at all. Many of us have done it before. We're a business owner, we should be able to afford it. Okay? You may be able to afford it, but do you know you can afford it? Debt is a crippler. Debt is an amazing thing that society these days, and especially the banks, when you've got a business, they want you to take on debt. It's how they do it. They tell you that you should do it. You can't grow a business without debt. Okay, debt is okay if it's managed properly, but do you know for a fact that you can manage debt properly, debt obligation? The way to start this is actually quite simple. What I would suggest that you did to start with is create a regular and accurate, monthly at least, profit and loss report. Now we're starting to talk in financial terms here, but profit and loss, all it does is it explains to you what money you've come in, what costs you've got, and how much you've got left at the end. And how much you've got left at the end won't match up to what you've got in your bank, okay? Because profit and cash are not the same. Do you make your purchasing decisions by what you've got in the bank? Cash and profit are not the same. Get the facts from a P&L each month. It's really, really simple. Now, you need to understand what goes on in a P&L, and further down in this program, I'll share with you exactly how to work a P&L and the kind of benchmarks we need to look at. Really, really simple. Tells you whether you're right or wrong. But the P&L is an essential tool for you to know exactly where you're at and how much profit you have to play with. Now, many of us don't like figures. We can't face doing them. And the great thing is that you don't have to do them. But as a business owner, you need to understand them and you need to have them done, but have them done by somebody else. Now, you could pay a bookkeeper once a week or once a month to prepare these figures for you in a format that you understand and you've decided are going to be helpful to you. From this information that somebody else has done for you, you can very, very quickly decide where you need to spend money, where you need to come back, and most importantly, how much you've got left over. Neglecting the financial side of your business is like playing Russian roulette. You're just flicking a coin, live or die. It is that serious. Now, once you're up and running, you can tweak and make your business super profitable by manipulating the financial side of things. But when you're just getting out, you've got to get a grip of it very, very quickly, because that could mean, as I say, the difference between life and death of your business. And imagine the effect that would have on your staff, on your clients, and on your life, and how it would affect the dreams that you have going forward. Financial literacy and knowing what you're doing with your finances is something that is really non-negotiable, and you must just invest that time to understand what's going on, but ultimately get someone else to do it for you so you can make your decisions based on facts and not drama or emotions. Be a smart business owner. Get a hold of your financial side of things. So, there we have it. My 3 biggest mistakes. If you can start to implement those things, if you can avoid making those mistakes, your trajectory to greatness and to creating an amazing life for yourself will be so much faster. So please learn from my mistakes. You don't need to make your own. In the second video, which I'll invite you to take a look at, I'll be sharing with you a strategy that's really quite easy to put in place with a slight shift of mindset that will not only build your business, create greater value and loyalty with your clients, but will, in all probability, create enough profit just on its own to pay for your property rent in total. Now, if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in doing and interested in looking at, take a look at the next video. I'm sure you'll love it.